Hey everyone, my name is Stephanie and I am a registered holistic nutritionist here in Vancouver, and today we're going to be talking about gut health. So this is something that's really, I'm really passionate about it. Number one, because I myself suffered from gut issues in the past. I had the gas and the bloating and the immediate trips to the bathroom. I felt tired all the time. Foods that I ate would make me feel bloated as well. And I just didn't really know what to do when it came to my gut or what I was doing to compromise everything that was going on with my digestive system. Number two, a lot of the clients that come to see me, they'll have various issues or concerns that they're coming to see me with. And 90% of the time, it comes back to the gut. So there are so many things that is going on in the world today and that is in our food or certain things that we're practicing in our lifestyle that goes against gut health. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. The things that contribute to poor gut health, low digestive juices, poor gut bacteria, all that kind of stuff, and then ways that we can change it and things that I do myself that has kind of brought me back to proper health. I don't have any of those issues anymore unless I've eaten a food that I know my body just generally doesn't agree with, but I don't have any of those other horrible symptoms anymore. So let's talk about some of the symptoms people might experience with poor gut health. So there's the gas and the bloating. That can be experienced either after you've eaten a certain food, or it can be experienced after every single thing that you eat. So some people have a really hard time narrowing it down and thinking that maybe they have a sensitivity to a certain food, but it actually can just come down to not enough digestive enzymes, which is causing you to feel bloated and gassy, and things aren't digesting properly. So heartburn is another one that people experience, and the huge misconception with that one is that you don't have, or you have too much stomach acid, and so people will resort to antacids and Tums and all that kind of stuff to bring down the heartburn. And you're treating the symptom, so it does work, but you're not treating the root cause. And so that's really what I focus on, because the root cause is actually not that you have too much stomach acid, is actually that you don't have enough. So when you don't have enough stomach acid, your food can't be broken down properly, and the gases and everything comes back up your esophagus and causes that feeling like that burning sensation. Things aren't being digested and brought down as they should be. So just as a general overview on your digestive system and how things work, I'm just going to do a quick overview of that so we can understand how our digestive system works for a normal, healthy person, and then we'll talk about a couple of things that can compromise your gut. So digestion starts in your mouth, and food starts to be broken down as you're chewing, and digestive juices, so amylase, helps to break down the food in your mouth. Then it gets swallowed down your esophagus into your stomach, and that's where the hydrochloric acid and all your digestive juices come together to break down the food that you've just eaten. So all the carbohydrates, protein, and fat, that it gets broken down. There's different enzymes for each macronutrient that breaks it down further and further, so that when it reaches your small intestine, a lot of the nutrients can be absorbed from there. So once it's done the stomach, down to the small intestine is where it goes, and that's where most of your nutrients are absorbed. And they get absorbed through the intestinal lining. So on the lining, you have like your intestinal wall that looks like this. There's little junctions all on the side of the wall, and then you have little finger-like projections that stick out, and there's villi and microvilli, and these are the little guys that will grab out and get all the nutrients and bring those to your bloodstream. So this is what absorbs all your nutrients. So a lot of gut issues happen because you have damaged villi and microvilli. So once that's done, the food then gets pushed down to your large intestine, where the remainder of the water is sucked out. Vitamin K is produced there, and then a lot of the beneficial bacteria, that's where that sits as well, small intestine and large intestine. So before it's excreted from the body, that's what happens is in the large intestine, the last little bit of nutrients are excreted, and last little bit of water and everything before it leaves your body. So just so you guys know, a lot of my clients have bowel movements every couple of days, and they think that that's normal. They think it's normal because that is what they're used to. That's what they have known to be true and works for their body over the last however long. But just because that's what you're used to doesn't mean that's how your body should be functioning. You should be having a bowel movement 1 or 2 times per day, just FYI. So if you're not, you definitely have some work to do in your digestive system. So a couple of things, excuse me, that compromise your gut. Actually, first of all, I'm just going to show you the drink that I'm having here. So I have given up caffeine a couple of weeks ago now, and I'm feeling amazing. I kind of exaggerated on what I put on top, but these are my homemade marshmallows. These are extremely healing for the gut, and I'm going to show you the recipe for these once I'm done at the end of the video. So this is my non-caffeinated beverage. I have Dandy Blend in here, which is a coffee alternative. Tastes just like coffee, but it actually has, it's really good for your liver. Has a lot of other benefits, and then the little marshmallows on top. Super good. So I'll share that with you guys later. Anyways, a couple of the things that can compromise your gut. Unfortunately, one of them is birth control pills. Those affect your hormones in your body, obviously, but not always in the best way. And so birth control pills actually compromise your gut bacteria. So that's one of the negative effects. With any man-made anything you're taking, there is going to be negative effects with them. So unfortunately, with birth control pills and antibiotics, they both compromise your gut bacteria. So they kill the good and the bad bacteria. So a healthy person has about 10% bad bacteria and 80% good bacteria. So that's normal. We're always going to have bad bacteria in our gut, and that's totally fine. It's normal. It's healthy. It's when you're taking antibiotics and other things and eating food that isn't good for your body is where it starts to get compromised, and a lot of the times the bad bacteria will grow too much and overcome the good bacteria, and that's where you're going to have a host of other problems: lowered immune system, inability to digest your foods properly, feeling super tired all the time, brain fog, irritability, all that kind of stuff comes from that. To be honest, most things come down to your gut. It really honestly is the powerhouse of our body that we really need to focus more on. And I often find that that's something that we overlook, unfortunately. Most diseases and issues that people have come from your gut. So skin issues, so eczema, psoriasis, acne, IBS symptoms, Crohn's, colitis, allergies even, that all comes down to your gut, even anxiety and depression, to be honest. The gut is known as the second brain. And the reason why is because it has more neurons in our stomach, like in our intestines, in our gut, more neurons there than in our brain. And so when I first learned that, I was floored. Like, that's so fascinating to me that we have more neurons in our gut than we do in our brain. So that explains for a lot of people why you could be experiencing a lot of anxiety and depression if you have a compromised gut. I have suffered from anxiety and depression as well. So I've been through all of that. I've done the proper protocol to heal my gut. I'm okay now, but it is unfortunately something that a lot of people deal with, and it's more and more these days. If you find a lot of people have anxiety and depression, and we're completely overlooking the gut, and I feel like that's the first place we need to start when it comes to that. 70% of your immune system is also located in your gut. Compromised gut means compromised immune system. You're going to be getting sick all the time. If that's you, then this is somewhere that you need to focus as well. So we've covered antibiotics and birth control pills as things that compromise your gut. If you are on a round of antibiotics, you have to make sure that you follow the proper protocol to balance the good bacteria out again after that. So I'm going to talk about a couple of ways after this, but it's super important. I think everybody should be on a probiotic in their life. I recommend that for all of my clients, even over multivitamins, believe it or not. So sugar and processed foods is another huge one, you guys. I know that you guys hear this all the time. I know it's like you've heard this 1,000 times, the trans fats, the excess sugar, and simple carbohydrates, so like all the white breads, the white pastas, the stuff that, like all those things, even grains, like all that stuff is actually converted into sugar into your body. Yeast feeds on sugar. Bad bacteria, that is like, they're just like having like the best day ever when you eat that kind of stuff, because that's what they thrive on, and that's what causes them to survive and overtake all the good bacteria, eating all that kind of stuff, sugar. So you have to really pay attention to everything that has sugar in it. If you're buying packaged stuff, make sure you're reading the labels on the back. We should not be having any more than 6 teaspoons of sugar per day. So there's 4 grams of sugar per teaspoon. So do the calculations when you're looking at something that you're buying, on the back, the sugar content, the grams of sugar. Make sure that you're not having any more than 6 per day. So a can of Coke, for example, has 10 teaspoons of sugar in it, just in that, and that's way over our daily maximum that we should be having for sugar. So really pay attention to that. Some good alternatives for normal sugar would be coconut sugar is a really great one. It doesn't really affect your blood sugar in the same way that normal other sugars do. Unpasteurized honey and pure maple syrup. Another one is stevia. So I didn't really like the flavor of just normal plain stevia before, and I still kind of don't. It's a little bit of an acquired taste, and I know a lot of people don't like it, but once you start to introduce that into your body, like you start to, like, the taste of normal sugar now is just, it's gross to me. It doesn't give me the same satisfaction as stevia does in a way. And so this is what I buy now. Sorry, the price tag's just covering it up a little bit, but this is the Now brand. So I buy this, most stores have this kind of stuff now. But this is, I found, is the best tasting one, the vanilla. I put it in my homemade chocolate. I put it in anything that I'm making that I want to be a little bit sweeter. Sometimes when I was having coffee before, I would put a little bit in my coffee. I love it. It's the best tasting one. So no sugar, no calories, doesn't affect your blood sugar. This is the best stuff if you're gonna go for something sweeter. But yeah, just be really mindful of the stuff that you're eating, the stuff that you're choosing. There is carbohydrates in starchy vegetables and other vegetables. You don't have to always resort to breads and pastas. There's so many different alternatives. It's not that you can't have it or you shouldn't have it, but just be really mindful how much you're having, because it does get converted into sugar in your body. There's so many different alternatives now. I actually just picked up some pasta from the Bulk Barn, and it's made from lentils and beets. And there's other options there. There's lentils and kale. There's a quinoa one, and you cook it up, and you can't tell the difference, you guys. It's so delicious, and that you know that you're getting even more nutrients that way. I'm a huge advocate of trying to swap things out so that you can get more nutrients in whatever it is that you're doing at any given time. So anyway, sorry, we got a little bit off track there, but those are a couple of things that compromise your gut. And a lot of things that we don't really look at is our sleep and stress levels. So dealing with your gut isn't just about eating certain foods and removing certain things and taking certain supplements and then you're okay. It really is a holistic look at everything in your life. Your stress levels are really high and you're not getting enough sleep, your gut is going to be compromised. You're going to be stressed. So when we're in a stressed state, the blood from our gut that should be digesting our food that we're eating actually is put into our muscles to run away from that bear or like run away from danger. And that's where the blood and the focus is on your muscles, not on digesting your food. And so when you're rushed or feeling stressed and you're eating while you're really upset, you're not going to digest your food properly and you're going to end up having a lot of gas and bloating and cramping even. So it's really something to be mindful of where you're at. If your sleep's off, there's little things that you can do to reduce your stress levels and help and have better sleep at night. And those are really things that you should look at as well for an overall improvement in your gut function. So, let's talk about a couple of things that we can introduce into our diet or our everyday things that we can do to help improve our gut. So, like I said before, digestion starts in your mouth. you really want to make sure that you're chewing your food really well. You don't want to put too much in your mouth, and you want to make sure you chew it down to a paste so that you're helping out your digestive system as much as you can by breaking down your food as much as you can before you swallow it. You don't want to be swallowing big chunks of food because that makes it harder for your stomach to break things down properly. So chew your food to a paste. While you're eating, make sure you're not having any more than 1 cup of liquid with your meal, because that reduces your digestive enzymes in your gut. So you really want to be mindful of that as well. And don't be distracted while you're eating. So, if you're the type of family that sits in front of the TV and has their dinner, try switching it up. Even if it's just a couple days a week, see what it feels like sitting at the table as a family. No other distractions. You're sitting here, you're concentrating on your food. You're really focusing on what you're eating, how it tastes, how it feels. You're chewing really well, and you're just in a relaxed state while you're eating. So too often we're running out the door, half eating something on the way out the door, or we're driving while we're eating, or we're eating mindlessly in front of the TV. That's not going to benefit our digestion very well. So being mindful of that kind of stuff really helps. And just slowing down when you're eating. So don't just like wolf back all of your food. That's going to give you some cramps as well. One thing that really helps to heal your gut lining. So as I talked about before, the junctions on the side of your small intestine, what happens when we're eating all the trans fats and the processed foods and the high sugar and the stress and antibiotics, birth control pills, all that kind of stuff we're kind of putting into our body at the same time, it really, really compromises our gut. And so what happens is not only the microvilli can be damaged, but also on your gut lining, you can end up getting holes like this in your gut lining. And so this is also known as leaky gut. And so what happens is that you can get larger particles of food that will go through those holes and enter your bloodstream. And that is not supposed to happen. Your body reacts to that and treats it as an invader. And so this is where a lot of people will think they have allergies to certain foods when in fact they don't. They just have a compromised gut. They have a leaky gut, and your body is reacting to these foods even though you're not allergic. Your body is treating it as it is. So it's really important that you really start to put everything into place to heal your gut in that way, and kind of close everything back up so that your body's functioning properly. Bone broth is something that is amazing for your gut. So this is like grass-fed bones that you can get from the butcher that you are going to cook up yourself and drink the liquid, like the bone broth. So this is like the old school way of making chicken stock. This is not just buying the cubes from the store. This is the best way to be able to get the most nutrients and gut healing properties from this kind of stuff possible. And you can use it as the base of your soups, or you can just drink it just straight on. I know some people aren't really a fan of drinking it straight on. That's totally fine. But it is almost like the most gut healing thing that you can drink, pretty much. So what you do is you could get your bones from the butcher and you put them into your pot with water. You top up the water above the bones. You add in 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. So what this does is it leaches all the nutrients and the goodness from the bones, which is what you want. It helps to leach it out of there. You're going to bring it to a boil and then put it on simmer for 24 hours. You can add in whatever spices you want, any cut up veggies, whatever to enhance the flavor. Make it however you want, flavor it however you like. And then after that, you're going to strain it all out, and you're going to use that liquid gold, for the bases of your soups, or again, just drink it straight up. So really healing for your gut. That has all the collagen, the glutamine, it's anti-inflammatory for your gut. If you have major inflammation in your body, then that is something that really helps as well. So get on the bone broth. And if you really can't stand the flavor of it, use it for the basis of your soups, but you can also use L-glutamine, which is a component of that, and you can just drink that in your water twice a day. Use 1 teaspoon twice a day in your water that doesn't really have a flavor, and that helps to heal your gut as well if you can't stand the bone broth. Fermented foods is another one. Kefir and miso soup and fermented veggies, kimchi, kombucha, sauerkraut, all that kind of stuff are things that really bring the good bacteria up in your body. So that's the good probiotics that you're adding to your gut. If you can introduce that into your diet every day, then you're going to notice a host of benefits. Kombucha is one of my favorites. I'll have that, every week usually. And yeah, it really helps to bring up the probiotics in your body. So another thing, as I mentioned before, in my drink that I have here, so caffeine, unfortunately, you guys, is another one that compromises your gut. So it causes a lot of inflammation in your body, in your gut, and it prevents the absorption of a lot of vitamins in your body, a lot of nutrients. So iron is one of them, magnesium, calcium. It prevents the absorption of those nutrients. So you want to, if you're really serious about focusing on your gut, because you have all these issues, then you have to eliminate caffeine. So you're going to be wanting to follow this protocol, this gut healing protocol, for about 3 months minimum. That is the amount of time that it's going to take before you're going to notice a big difference. So it can be hard for some people, but with caffeine, yes, okay, there are some benefits to it. And if you have a strong gut, then that's okay, go ahead. But if you don't, honestly, you have to take it out. And the benefits that are in coffee, you can get the same or more benefits from stuff like matcha or yerba mate or anything else like that, like other teas that you can steep and add milk to or whatever, add any kind of nut milk, and you get the same benefits or more, and you don't need caffeine. There's ways that you can eliminate that from your body where you're not going to be having a lot of the withdrawal symptoms, a lot of the headaches and all that kind of awful stuff that happens when you're taking caffeine out. But yeah, if you're replacing it with yerba mate or matcha, there's still caffeine in that. There's still other antioxidant benefits and stuff that coffee doesn't give you. So again, if you're serious about healing your gut, you want to take that out. Okay, so what I do every single morning when I wake up is I will have a glass of warm lemon water. So I'll cut a lemon in half. I'll squeeze it into my glass. Warm water. You don't want to do cold water because that's too hot on your digestive system. So warm lemon water. Drink it right up, empty stomach. So what that's going to do is it's going to boost your metabolism, which is a nice benefit. It's a mild detox for your liver, and it helps to stimulate and get your digestive juices flowing before you put food into your body. So really important, really good tip to sort of take home there. I don't always carry lemons with me in my purse. So what I do carry in my purse is the lemon essential oil. So this is a lifesaver for me. We all know the quality of doTERRA oils, very good quality, very potent. So I will put no more than 2 drops in my water, and I'll have this throughout the day. Grapefruit's also another really great one for this, but I will usually carry the lemon. Now we talked about the compromised digestive juices. So when you've been eating all the processed foods and stuff, that is going to reduce your digestive enzymes by quite a bit. And that's what's going to cause the bloating, the gas, the heartburn, like I mentioned before. So one thing that's really going to help you guys is digestive enzymes. I highly recommend these. You're going to want to take 15 minutes before each of your main meals of the day. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So unfortunately, with a lot of food that we eat these days, it doesn't have the same nutritional value with all the nutrients in it as it did years ago. So a lot of our food is coming from further away. It's being picked before it's ripe, and it's being ripened in a truck with gas on the way to the grocery store. You're obviously not getting a lot of the nutrients when it's picked before it's ripe. That's why I encourage people to buy local where you can. And there's no rotating of crops as much anymore. And so we definitely have a lot less nutrients in our fruits and veggies than we did before. So we want to be able to get the most out of everything that we're eating. And so when you're taking a digestive enzyme, not only does it help to break down your food, so it helps alleviate a lot of the stress on your system. While you're trying to help repair your gut, you really want to help it out as much as you can. And so taking digestive enzymes is really going to help with that, to break down your food. And it's also going to stimulate your own digestive enzymes to start producing and functioning properly again, which is really great. So I honestly really highly recommend this. And then again, before I said that everybody should be taking probiotics. And so here we go, PB Assist. This is really great because it's double encapsulated. So it's able to pass through your stomach and all the acids there to make it to your small intestine where it's needed. And yeah, everybody should be on some sort of probiotic. You really want, like, all the time, because there's so many things that are going against our gut to lower our bacteria in there, that we want to always try and keep it up. And you're going to notice a huge difference after taking this for a little while with your gut health, your immune system, the breakdown of food, all that kind of stuff. It's very, very important. So those are a few of the things that I use for myself. And the last one that I want to talk about is the DigestZen. And this is honestly a lifesaver for us here. This is, so all these other things that I'm talking about is stuff that you're going to be wanting taking on a daily basis that's going to help improve your gut over a period of time. This is one that I use for immediate pain relief. So if I've eaten something that I know my body doesn't agree with, I'm getting gas, I'm getting bloating, I'm feeling uncomfortable, or Landon's eaten something that is making his tummy hurt. So we just rub this right onto our stomach, and it's almost immediate. It just takes the pain away. It works so well. I was actually really surprised the first time I used it that it worked so quickly and so well. And yeah, we just put about 15 drops in a roller bottle with fractionated coconut oil and just roll it right in our stomach. And Landon knows to go to which roller bottle when his tummy hurts, and it just helps right away. This can be taken internally as well if you need it. We just usually put it on our tummy though on the outside. Totally helps. It's amazing. So if you guys have any questions at all, hopefully this has been helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you want to follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you can find me under either one, under Circle of Life Nutrition. And yeah, again, any questions, let me know. And hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and get working on that gut. And I'll post the recipe for my marshmallows once we're done. Okay, super delicious, really easy, and there's only a couple of ingredients. So have a great rest of the day, you guys.